How much do you know about being able to prepare and file your taxes for free? I'm going to talk about the options with you. There's a federal program that roughly, depending on the year, somewhere around 2/3 to 70% of taxpayers are eligible for, that only 3% ever use. People just don't even know that the IRS for many, many years has had a free program to file your income tax called Free File. And all you do is you go to irs.gov, you click on the Free File link, and you see whether or not there's a tax prep firm that's participating that you're eligible to use under Free File. So the adjusted gross income you have to have is below $79,000, and that's roughly 2/3 to, again, somewhere around 70% of taxpayers qualify for it. And you're using traditional tax prep software, but not having to pay for it. If you live in a state with a state income tax, some of the participants also include free state tax preparation and filing. If you live in a state without state income tax, good for you, because you don't have to worry about the paperwork or paying the income tax. But these free filing options are the real deal, and people just don't know that they're out there. Again, Free File. You go to irs.gov, you look for the Free File logo, click on it, and check out your eligibility and which ones are okay for you. That's number one. Number two, the IRS this year has a new program that is a pilot that is called Direct File. And it's funny it's a pilot because we are the last developed country on earth that has a tax system where you can't have the taxing authority send you a proposed return that you can either accept or reject. We've never done that in the U.S., so this is an intermediate step, Direct File, and not all taxpayers are eligible to use it. It depends on what state you live in and the complexity of your tax return, because it is an early pilot that hopefully in a few years will be commonplace like it is everywhere else. If you have to pay taxes, why should you have to go through the hassle and the expense of hiring a software program or someone to do the filing for you? So what states are you eligible? I'm glad you asked, because many of them are the most populous states in the country. California, Florida, let's see, what other, New York, Texas. I think those are the four most populous states in the U.S. Where else? Arizona, Massachusetts, Nevada, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Washington, and Wyoming. All right, now one pattern there is not all the states, but most of the states that the IRS is offering Direct File are states without a state income tax. Again, you win so many different ways if you live in a state without a state income tax. And may I digress to say, one of the things I'm really happy about is that states all across America are reducing their state income taxes and going away from taxing income to taxing consumption. And why does that excite me? Because I believe so much that you create additional economic growth activity, not states racing to the bottom, as people who love a state income tax will say, that you deprive people of services when states cut income tax. The reality is what happens is that you create long-term more economic activity when you encourage people to save money rather than encourage them to spend money. So when you tax consumption, you change behavior, not all at once, but over time in citizens. And that's why I've always been a fan of taxes that tax us on what we spend rather than taxes that tax us on what we earn. The address you go to be unhappy with me about that is every time I say it, people get unhappy. Clark.com/ClarkStinks.